Hey, what's up? Hope you're doing great. If you're new here, welcome to the channel, and if you have seen the last video from Coron, thank you so much for joining me again on this journey through the Philippines. In the last episode, I took a step beyond the tourist spots and explored the local life of Coron. Documenting the market and the slum gave me a clearer picture of how life truly is there, revealing a world quite distant from the polished surface of tourism. Now, in this second episode, I explored the area of El Nido, and I couldn't help but reflect on what I learned in Coron. As a photographer, I realized that my purpose isn't just to create beautiful images, but to document stories that matter. I overcome with the idea to document over create, because in my opinion, it's way more important to bring value through our job as a photographer, to help people understand, in this case, what's truly behind these touristic destinations. So in the second stop of the trip, I decided to move away from the idea of capturing pictures of the beaches. Yes, they are stunning and will look amazing on Instagram, but they will somehow lie on what the Philippines are. Instead, I wanted to capture something more meaningful. Stories about the people and their craft. This video is about the value of authenticity in storytelling, showing life as it is, with all the imperfections. My first encounter was with some local builders, and talking with them, I decided to push myself further north, where I began searching for a small community of Nipa makers, craftspeople who create something while taking care of the land. So grab a coffee, sit back, and let's dive into the video. The first part of this video starts with a building site I came across while working on El Nido beach. I stumbled across these guys that were working on this floating construction, entirely made of bamboo. After asking them if it was a problem to take some pictures, they invited me to join on the floating structure to document what they were doing. It was amazing to see them working the bamboo with just big knives, crafting and assembling each piece one by one. Between photos, we exchanged a few words about the construction and in particular about one component of the building. Pieces made by dried leaves that are used to make the roof. So the site manager explained to me that they buy those pieces in a small village where women hand assemble these roofing elements made from Nipa, a plant that grows in the mangrove forest just outside El Nido. Before I left, I captured what I think is one of the most beautiful photos taken on this trip. There was a guy climbing on a bamboo column who was hand polishing the various elements of the structure, and I took this picture. Meeting those builders was such a lucky moment, and honestly, I loved every second of it. Coming from an architecture background, I always find construction process fascinating. This one was no different. But what really grabbed my attention were those roofing panels made from Nipa leaves. They were so unique, completely outside anything I've seen in architectural design before. And I couldn't help but want to know more about the assembling process and the story behind these elements. The thing is, none of them could tell me the name of the town where these roofing pieces actually came from. They don't handle the purchasing, so the piece of the puzzle was actually missing. But you know what? That just made me even more curious. So the next day, I took my scooter and headed northeast from El Nido, chasing down my only clue, a mangrove forest near a small village. I had no idea what I'd find, but I was determined to track down these women and learn more about their craft. After 1 hour ride, I reached the first stop of the road trip of the day, a small village placed right next to the mangrove forest. And let me tell you, I was very lucky. I found myself near a river that divides the village from the forest, and by asking the first person I met, he could immediately point me to the right person to talk to. In fact, right after meeting this woman, who turned out to be one of the women assembling the roofing panels, I saw a couple of men coming out of the mangrove forest with 2 baskets full of Nipa leaves. This woman walked me to a house where she actually lived and assembled with another woman these panels. Watching them assembling by hands these panels were fascinating. By using just bamboo stripes, they are actually able to stitch the leaves together. As the women worked on the panels, they shared something fascinating about their process. Collecting Nipa leaves isn't just about gathering materials, it's about preserving a delicate ecosystem. If they over-harvest, it would harm the forest and disrupt the local crab population, which, along with the Nipa, supports the entire community. They also explained to me the unique drying process. After assembling the panels, they soak them into the salt water for over 4 months. This method prevents the leaves from deteriorating, ensuring the panels last up to 2 years on a roof before needing to be replaced. Meeting these women, watching them work as they assemble the Nipa panels was really interesting. I think it's essential to document these things to convey something like what I'm doing right now with you. I think it's really important to get across how certain dynamics still exist somewhere in the world. After this visit, I moved to another small town nearby to have lunch by the sea. Here, quite randomly, I met an old fisherman sitting on the sand, intent on adjusting a fishing net by hand. Okay, so that's what this video was really about, going beyond the surface and discovering the stories that make a place truly unique. As a photographer, it's easy to get lost in just taking beautiful pictures for Instagram. But when we shift our focus to documenting over creating, we open ourselves up to something much deeper. By exploring beyond the tourist spots, talking to locals and learning about their lives and traditions, we are not just capturing images, we are telling stories. Stories that matter, stories that inform others, like the one I shared today about the delicate balance of the Nipa and the community it supports. If there is one takeaway I'd love for you to live with, it's this. Don't be afraid to explore more, to talk with locals, and to embrace the unexpected. It's in those unplanned moments that we discover something new, something worth documenting. And in doing so, despite focusing on documenting, we are also creating not just pretty pictures, but meaningful ones. In the next video, I'll take a slightly different approach as I move to Port Barton, the third and final stop of this journey. There, I'll focus less on specific practices and more on capturing the rhythm of daily life. So, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. And let me know in the comments, what's the most unexpected stories you have discovered while traveling? I'd love to hear that. Alright, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.